Hello friends, and welcome to Escaping the Mouse with your host, me, Buck Rowell. Alright, I am getting ready to go into another maintenance cycle at work. Those of you who followed this channel for a while know that about twice a year my company shuts down for about 2 weeks and spends a whole bunch of time doing repairs and preventive maintenance and replacing things that have kind of worn out in the last 6 months. And that kind of begins winding down on Friday. Friday is supposedly our last day of production, and starting on Saturday, I'm going to be off for the most part for the next about 10 days. So I'm going to be doing a few things around the house and maybe even out and about. But one of the things I want to do, I got to get prepared for, because I'm going to need my trailer. And right now my trailer is filled up with all the remains of the pool, which I disassembled. I have not taken that to the dump yet. One of the things that I've been kind of holding on is, as a resident of Waco, if I can provide them a utility bill, I can dump up to 2,000 pounds of stuff at the dump for free. And so I've been waiting to get the utility bill. It came by this past week. And so what I want to do today is take a trip over to the dump and get rid of the remains of the pool. And one more thing I want to do today is figure out what this thing is and replace it. Starting this morning, it started beeping about every 60 seconds. And the truth is, I spent 10 or 15 minutes out here in the garage trying to figure out where the noise was coming from. I thought maybe I had a dead smoke detector, or a smoke detector that I wasn't using out here anymore, and its battery was starting to die, but I couldn't find it. And I spent like I said, 10 minutes or so before I happened to see this thing. And I realized, you know what, I've never even looked at that thing. I have no idea what it is, but whatever it is, its battery is dead. We got to replace it. And I suspect it's probably like a carbon monoxide detector or something, but it definitely needs a little attention, because I don't want this thing screaming at me all night saying, I need a battery, I need a battery. So we're going to figure out what this thing is and get it replaced or repaired. But first, to the dump. All right, so here we are at the dump. Yeah, this is, I guess, where all the trash trucks drop off too. I've been here once before. I had to do this when I got rid of some of the appliances that I brought with me from California. I ended up not using. I came here. Basically, they got kind of an interesting approach to weighing you. They'll weigh your load, your vehicle and all, when you go in, and then they'll weigh you again on the way out, and the difference is how much you're responsible for. Like I said, I'm only going to be dropping off a few hundred pounds worth of something, and I'm good up to 2,000 pounds, so this should be a pretty simple thing. Alright, so I'm back from the dump. It's good to have gotten rid of all that stuff. Like I said, we got a shutdown coming up in a couple of days, and I got a project I'm going to need that trailer for and be able to haul stuff. So it's good to get that out of the way. It was actually a fairly simple process getting over there. Like I said before, you drive onto the ramp, they weigh your car beforehand, they weigh you afterwards, and the difference is what you dumped. And at the end, I think I brought in about 400 pounds worth of stuff. So I'm 20% through my yearly allotment, and we're almost into October, so probably going to be all right. But like I said, it was very quick and very efficient over there. I got in and out of there probably gate to gate 20 minutes, and 10 minutes maybe unloading it. Actually turned out their staff over there helped quite a bit too. One of the guys actually helped me unload all my stuff, and we got through the plastic liner, which was the stuff that was on the top of the trailer, because that was the last thing to be removed. And when we got through that layer, he looked, is like, is the rest of this metal? I said, yeah, the rest of it's like the pool liner and stuff like that. He said, okay, that should go over here because we put the metal over there. So we moved the trailer over there. He helped me load it off, and we were good to go. So big part of the day is now over. We got everything to the dump, and let's go take a look at that beeping thing in the garage. All right, so I got this thing off the ceiling in the garage, and was initially a little bit baffled at what it is, because there's no real markings on it. That's a button right there, and it just says test silence underneath it. but there's no make or model or anything. It does have a battery in it, and when I pulled the battery out, it turns out there's a little tag underneath the battery that tells me that this is just a smoke detector. So I don't know, I've never seen one that looked like that. I thought for sure it was like a carbon monoxide or something like that. But while that's an interesting little battery, I ought to be able to find one of those at Home Depot. So we're going to run over to Home Depot, and in reality, I kind of want to go back there anyway because I found something cool there yesterday when I was at Home Depot, when I was kind of doing a little research on this project that's coming up. And I bought a couple of them, and I got home and I said, I really should have gotten a third one. So I'm going to pick up a third one of those, and I'll show you that when I get back. All right, so I'm back from Home Depot. I found what I was looking for. This is the battery here that I needed. It's a type CR2. Don't usually run into those a lot. It's a little unusual, but not unusually unusual. So I was able to find replacement at Home Depot. I figured it would. So we're good to go. We're going to replace the battery on this thing, put it back up on the ceiling, and hopefully we won't have to worry about this for a while. All right, got the new battery in this thing. We're going to put it back out in the garage. And I guess, like I said, I didn't even know this thing was out there. I never actually noticed it before, but it is a fire extinguisher or smoke detector, technically. I guess it doesn't get tripped up by the carbon monoxide that comes from the car. It must require a little bit more concentration for that, but it does have kind of a piercing scream. Yeah, kind of annoying. All right, back in place. On to the next thing. Made a fun little observation today. Apparently there's a colony of ants that are living in the yard that are using this little crack in the sidewalk as a little highway across the sidewalk, and they actually seem to be building a little subway system. They're covering it up with dirt so they can walk through this maybe safely and maybe escape the heat a little bit. I noticed one on the crack behind me the other day and wasn't sure what was doing it and tore it up, and I saw they've moved over here now. Interesting what nature can do, huh? So apparently there's a entrance into the colony there and maybe another entrance over here, and like I said, they're going to maybe build a subway here so they can go through there safely. Gotta love how nature figures things out, huh? And I see our friend Flash here. I don't know if she notices me yet. Even she knows how to stay out of the heat. Now this is something else I found at Home Depot. I actually found a couple of these yesterday, and I was wandering through the store looking, kind of getting some ideas for this project I'm going to work on. And for the first time this season, they had their Halloween stuff up. Now Home Depot's Halloween stuff isn't always that spectacular, but every once in a while they got something new and interesting, and I decided I wanted to, just wander around, and I saw these really cool multicolored LED spots, and they're all controlled by remote control, and I can change the colors and do all sorts of really cool things with them, and I thought they'd be really great for Halloween. And I bought 2 of them figuring, okay, that'll be good. And then I realized how much light these things throw. And I thought these things would be like really excellent if I wanted to light up the house from the outside. If I get really patriotic someday and want to light the house up red, white, and blue, these are the things that do it, because these things throw an enormous amount of light. In fact, I'm actually having to stand behind the light when I'm filming it, because if I showed you it from the front, it's so bright in the front that it would just wash out the camera. But like I said, I got 2 of them, and I then realized, you know what, if I wanted to do the whole red, white, and blue thing, I can't do that with 2. I'd need a third one. And I'm always kind of a little concerned about Home Depot on their holiday stuff, because they'll pull down the Halloween stuff in like early October, and the Christmas stuff will start appearing. So if you want to get the Halloween stuff, you really need to get it almost as quickly as possible. And since this seemed to be a new product for them, I wasn't sure how popular they were going to be and if they were going to sell out. So when I went back today for that battery, I wanted to include another one of these so I could have 3 of them. It's nice. They all work on the same remote. You know, sometimes certain things they get different ones, and they get different remote, and each one of them has its own remote, and they're not entirely incompatible or compatible with each other. That's not the case with these. It comes with 16 preset colors that you can choose from, including white if you want just an overall spot. It's also got some kind of effects that you can do, flipping back and forth between colors. So, you know, there's all sorts of automatic stuff that it can do. It's kind of fun. And like I said, I think this will be something that'll be handy for both Halloween and even Christmas too, because I think I could light the house up in some really spectacular ways using this. So I wanted to show you that. I thought that was kind of fun, and looking forward to seeing what we're going to get out of that. But anyway, I think that is all that I have for today. So thank you as always for watching, and I'll see you next time on Escaping the Mouse. Good night.